Then comes a very, very important sentence. Men are henceforth related to each other in their social process of production in a purely atomistic way. Their own relations of production therefore assume a material shape which is independent of their control and their conscious individual action. This situation is manifested first by the fact that the products of men's labour universally take on the form of commodities. The riddle of the money fetish is therefore a riddle of the commodity fetish, now become visible and dazzling to our eyes. What Marx is doing here is accepting Adam Smith's vision of a perfectly functioning market economy in which the hidden hand guides decisions. No one person is in charge. No one person can command. Everybody has to function according to what Marx will later call the coercive laws of competition in the market. Now, Adam Smith's thesis was that actually individual motivations of entrepreneurs and autonomous individuals acting in the market didn't matter. They could be greedy, they could be selfless, they could be whatever. They could be nice, they could be horrible. But at the end of the day, Adam Smith argued, autonomous individuals acting freely in the market, following their own wants, needs and desires in whatever way they wanted, would be led to produce a social result when mediated through the hidden hand of the market that would redound to the benefit of all. Marx is accepting that vision. And I think it's very important to understand why. Marx's Capital is a critique of classical political economy. Classical political economy held that if only you would let the market do its work, everything would be great. If only you would get the state out of the picture, if only you would eradicate monopoly control, if only you would do all of those things, you would end up with a social order that would be incredibly dynamic and socially just. That was Adam Smith's utopian dream. That was Ricardo's utopian dream. That was the utopian dream of liberal theory. Continues to be the utopian dream of neoliberal theory. Only let the market do its work and everything will be okay. Now, Marx at this point has a choice. He could say either markets don't work. We all know there's monopoly, there's power, and all the rest of it, messing around and destroying everything, so I'm not even going to accept that utopian project as being ever possible. Or he can, as he does here, accept the conditions of that utopian dream and then ask the question, is it really going to benefit everybody? And the big thesis is going to come out in Capital is no. It's just going to benefit the bourgeoisie. It's just going to benefit the haute bourgeoisie. And it's going to screw the workers, left, right and center. The closer you come to implementing this utopian project of liberal theory, neoliberal theory, the greater the levels of social inequality, the greater the degrees of injustice in society, and the greater the destruction of both environmental qualities and labor qualities will ensue. So Marx is accepting the terms of classical political economic debate in order to show that in their own terms they are wrong about the outcome. And he's going to prove it step by step by step. But in so doing, he's going to confine himself to the argument that the classical conditions which are laid out in Adam Smith's hidden hand are actually there and have actually been achieved. when we know they've not been achieved and they never were achieved, but we have gone through certain historical periods where people have tried to achieve them, as over the last 30 years, for example. So what Marx is doing is really trying to deconstruct the classical political economic vision of the liberal bourgeoisie in order to show that it's self-serving. But it puts him in a problem, and it puts us in a problem. When we're reading his analysis, we have to be very careful in saying, is he talking about a real capitalist society or this theoretical society which Adam Smith dreamed of and the classical political economists dreamed of? And sometimes those two things run interference with each other. Sometimes they mess each other up, and we have to watch out for that. Sometimes he ends up saying things which are not unrealistic precisely because of that presumption.